What's up, everyone? My name is Tanner Mendelsohn. Been with FFL for about 7 months now, and I'll just kind of give a brief background about what I was doing before this. So I am 21 years old now, and before this, I was in college. I was at San Diego State, and I was really stuck with my life. I had no idea, what to do. I was around the wrong people. I was making terrible decisions. I was going out partying all the time. And, I knew that I needed to change in order to get different results. I had no idea where to start though. And I knew that I've been like a pretty social kid growing up. So I knew sales would be something where I'd thrive in. I kind of fell into the insurance industry. I was with a previous company before, American Income Life. It sucked. Most people go there, don't make any money. I had the same exact story. I was there for 10 months. I made no money. What it taught me though is that, you can work really, really hard in the wrong system and see no success whatsoever. But when you get plugged into the right system with the right leaders and the right commission structure that allows you to scale, the rate of success goes up significantly. So, we're all blessed to be, with FFL, and I'm really glad that I'm here now. And what I understood is from day one, I wanted to build a business. I knew that. But I knew in order to build a business, I needed to have results myself. So my first 4 months, I sold $200,000 of insurance. And in March alone, we cracked about 362,000. And in March, I deposited $93,000. I profited $83,000. And that's crazy that like that can even come out of my mouth, but that's what's possible when you really take this business like seriously and you take it like a business. So, you know, I thought it was going to take me a really long time to get to where I'm at, but when you just invest every single second of your day really focused on your business and all you do is actions that will scale your business, dude, you're going to scale really, really quickly. And the goal for quarter 2 is just to double that. We should go to at least $750,000. But I'm going to be touching on like every single thing that I do in my business that's allowed me to scale so quickly. So, first thing I want everyone to understand is that people follow people with results. People follow people with results. If you have the results, people are going to follow you. So, I knew I wanted to build from day one, but I didn't think things would happen so quickly, but I knew I would have to sell a ton of insurance in order to build a team. So my first month, I sold $40,000, then 50,000, and just kept going up. And people just started coming to me without even really me trying because I just had really, really good results. So if you just work really, really hard, you start selling at a high level, people will just start coming to you accidentally. But in order for them to actually come to you, you need to like market yourself. So I knew that my business would completely explode when I started getting people that I didn't know. Right? It's pretty easy to recruit people that you know them, tell them what you're doing, bring them in the business. But how do you actually get people that you don't even know? And that all comes down to social media. So I have about 30 people on my team. Every single person that I've recruited is all from social media. And it's all like organic. It's not even me running ads, it's all organic. And probably like most of you, like I was terrified, I was scared, I was nervous to actually post on social media. But I knew that nothing was going to stop me from reaching my goals. So if it comes down to posting on social media, I'm going to do what it takes. So my very first 2 months, I was posting my sales. I was posting other teams, other people within my team sales. I was posting team calls. I was reposting videos that I really, really liked. And that started to get some traction. But where things really, really scaled is when I started actually like holding the camera in front of my face and started actually talking because then it made it a lot more real. People started to see like how I move, how I speak, and they started to be attracted to that. But recruiting, it's very simple. Most people overcomplicate it, think it's hard. I'm gonna be honest, it's very, very simple. You just need to post consistently. So way too many people come to me and they're like, how are like you getting so many people? Like, how are people hitting you up? It's because I post every single day. And I don't cry if no one hits me up after a week or after a month, right? I've been posting consistently for 7 months straight. And that's why I have a lot of traction. But where things really, really started scaling is I started to post my bank deposits. So I see way too many people, they post calculators, they post team sales, they post like just random applications, whatever. No one knows what that is. Like, imagine if you guys weren't in insurance, you would have zero idea what that is, right? So how is someone on the other side going to expect to know like what you're posting? But what if they see you wake up to a $10,000 deposit? That's a little bit different. That's real. They want to get involved with that. So I started to post my bank deposits, but also I started to have my team post their bank deposits because no one just wants to see one guy winning. They want to see everyone winning. People are attracted to a winning culture. So if it's just you winning, and it might be a scam. I don't know if this is real. But what if everyone's winning and everyone's making money and everyone's posting bank deposits? Wow, now it's a lot more real, and people don't just see that I'm making money, but my entire team is printing money on a daily basis. So I encourage everyone to stop with the calculators, stop with the Slack posts, start posting bank deposits. It's real. I was a little bit nervous at first, but I saw what it did for me, and I understood that that's where like things started blowing up. But to kind of break down like how I recruit people is it's through two calls. Okay. I made a mistake when I first started. I treated them just like they were a client. I one call closed them. And then I started to lose people here and there. And I'm like, what's happening? And I understood that I needed to break it down into two calls. So the very first call that I have with people, it's very simple. 10 to 15 minutes long. And I'm not really even talking about the business. I'm basically just screening them. Do I want to work with this person? So I'm asking them, questions like, what are you currently doing? Why are you interested in getting into sales? Like, what would your schedule look like if you started? So it's really just like a screening process because I don't work with everyone, right? People want to work with me. I don't want to work with everyone. So I need to understand if this is even someone that I would want to work with. So that first call is very simple. It's 10 to 15 minutes long. We're really just breaking down, who they are and if they would be a good fit to work with me. Now, after that, I'm like, okay, perfect. So I'm going to send you over about a 30-minute business overview meeting. It's just going to break down the entire business. After you watch that, shoot me over a text. We'll hop on another call and just jot down any questions that you have, and I'll clarify everything. Now, mutually, if we feel like it's a good fit, we'll kind of go over next steps. So I'm going to send them a 30-minute business overview meeting. The reason that I do that is first off, I don't have time to explain the business for 30 minutes to an hour. Like I don't got time for that. So I need to send them a video to go over that. Second thing is I make sure they're coachable. If they can't watch a video and text me back, they definitely are not going to be a good fit for like to work with me. So I'm testing to make sure they're coachable to actually do a task, but also I'm saving myself 30 minutes to an hour of having to explain the entire business. So after they watch that, they'll jot down any questions. Majority of the people that hit me back and have multiple questions, those are people that are good because some people just watch it and they don't have any questions. If they don't have any questions, I send them more videos to make sure that they're even watching it. And then that second call, I'm really touching on leads and how we get paid. A lot of people get confused about leads. A lot of people get confused about how we get paid. So I want to make sure everything's very, very clear before they start. Now, also, this is really, really important. So I see way too many people lying and telling them fake numbers. I make, $10,000, $15,000 a month when they don't. So like, please, if you want to recruit people, don't lie about your numbers because if you're lying about your numbers when they come into the business and they see that you're not doing that, they're not going to trust you. It's all about trust. So I'm very, very, very transparent with people. I tell them that this is not easy. It's going to be hard, but it's very simple. I don't tell anyone that they're going to make $10,000 their first month. I tell them it's possible, but they're probably not because they don't work as hard as me. They're probably not as motivated as me, but it's possible. So if you start lying about like numbers to bring people in, your business will fail. Like people are attracted to people that are honest and transparent. So make sure you guys are doing that. And then now we recruit someone. Okay. Now, how do you go from, recruiting someone to then now having them sell $50,000 a month? So while they're waiting for their license, takes about a week or 2 weeks to be approved. That's when I'll have them in Zoom. Now, I run my whole business virtually, like 95% of it's virtual. So I don't really have people in office and everything. But while they're waiting for their license, I have them in Zoom listening in. It's really, really important that they're listening into calls because they're gonna understand like what conversations are gonna look like, what objections, but more importantly, they're gonna understand how many times we get told no. Because it's way too many people come in and they whine and cry after an hour or two because they didn't make a sale. But when they sit on Zoom and they listen to people like me that sell a ton, other guys on my team that sell a ton, getting told no for, 8 hours in a row, that's really, really good for them. So when they start, they understand that they ain't going to be easy because the people that think it's going to be easy are going to fail out immediately. So that I have them listen in, they need to listen in for at least 2 days. Now, after that first day, I'm going to go over scripts with them. I'm not going to really hit them with objections. I just need to hear them. I'm going to give them a couple recommendations like, you need to slow down a little bit. That you need to fix your tone, just little things like that. And then the second day after they listen in, I go over quoting with them. I show them how to quote, make sure that's all clear for them. And then I also really go over objections. And I need to make, I'm very clear with them. I'm like, hey, bro, tomorrow when you start on the phones, probably 100 people are going to tell you that they already have coverage and that they've been called a ton or that, they don't remember filling it out. And the reason I tell them that is because it's true. It's literally what's going to happen. And I started doing that because one time, like some guy was like complaining to me that, people weren't interested and, they've been called a ton or that they already have coverage. So I make sure to handle that objection before they call me at night and they start, complaining about that. But that's mainly like what I do, the process of, when they get their license to like now when they start. Now, when they start, it's really important to set clear expectations and standards. So what I understand about this business is my guys are going to do exactly what I do. They're probably not going to do more. They're going to do exactly what I do or less. So I get the question every single week. Hey, Tanner, like, how do you get your guys to work like all night? I get that question so much. And I tell them it's very simple. I work 12 to 14 hours a day. My guys want to do exactly what I do. They want to make the income I make. So they do exactly what I do. So if you can't get your guys to, work late and sell a ton and recruit people, it's probably because you're not doing it. So you need to be accountable for yourself. If you're succeeding at a high level, it's because of you. If you're failing, you're not doing well, you're bringing in people, they're failing out of the business, it's probably because of you, right? I got 30 guys on my team. Only 2 people have left me. A lot of people say like 90% of insurance agents fail out of the business. Not on my team. They don't. So your guys are going to be a direct representation of what you do. So if you're working 6, 8 hours a day, you're not on Saturdays, don't expect your guys to do that. So I'm very clear. I tell all my guys how much money I'm making, exactly what I'm doing. They see me. So if they want to make what I make and they're just going to do what I do. It's very simple. So I encourage everyone to set a very, very clear example, lead from the front, and your guys are just going to duplicate exactly what you do. But the first week of them on the phones is really, really important for their confidence, right? I need to have them sell. Most of my guys sell either a first or second day. And that's really, really important because that builds up their confidence. But one thing I made the mistake in, it was like maybe like my third or fourth guy I brought in the business. I helped him way too much, way too much. Every objection he got, I told him exactly what to say. I helped him with literally every single thing because I wanted him to succeed, right? You want your guys to succeed. And he ended up selling $7,000 his first week. But the next week, I started to help him a little bit less and then a little bit less. And then he started to not sell. What that taught me is that you can't give someone too much when they first start because they're going to depend on you. So it's very important to be there for them and help them. But at the end of the day, it's better for them if you let them fail a little bit. Let them get told no a few times and just sit there and watch them. And then at night, let's go over it. So don't give your guys too much their very first 1 to 2 weeks, because then they're going to depend on you. Because that kid started asking me every single time he was messing up, Tanner, what do I say? What do I say? Right? But those first couple of days, they're going to need help. So you're going to have to help them, of course, but don't give them too much. That first week's really, really important with their confidence. Now, what I tell people is that, hey, write down where you lose people after you quote numbers, and then let's go over it at night. We're not going to go over it middle of the day. You need to respect your time. That's where you make your money. Go over it at night and train them. So then if they're not getting at least 4 presentations a day, then they're messing up in the beginning. So you need to go over those initial objections. But if they're getting 4 presentations and they're not selling, then they're messing up with, like, think about it, wife, banking, or social. So have your guys write down where they're messing up and then go over it with them at night. So one of the biggest things that I struggled with at first was really managing my time. I wanted all my guys to sell. I wanted to sell and I wanted everyone to succeed, but my mind started going absolutely insane. I was doing this at this time, this at this time. I wasn't managing my time properly. During the day, that's where you sell. That's where you make your money, right? At nights when you help and train people. So in the middle of the day, don't just sit there just watching someone, just helping him, because you're going to lose out on your sales. You need to respect your time. Also, it's important for them to learn on their own a little bit. So that's where I messed up. But that first week's really, really important. Now, after they're selling at a high level, you want to develop them into leaders. So have them help some of your other guys, see what they do. Like I have a couple guys I've asked to help people, and then they hit me with some BS, like answer a question. Clearly that shows me that they're not a leader. I don't want them to be a leader on my team. But then I have a lot of other people on my team where I'm like, hey bro, like I gotta do something. Can you help real quick? And they help. And that shows me that he's a leader. And like those are the people that you want to pour into and develop at a high level and duplicate them as fast as possible. So, like, hey, bro, you're killing it, dude. Like, we need more people just like you. Who else do you know that would be like good for this opportunity? And then that's when you start scaling, is when you start developing leaders. Not everyone's going to be a leader, but one thing that I want to say is that, like, I knew that when I started to build a team, I knew that I was going to make my money selling. And if I started to get overrides, that was just bonus money. But I'm going to make my money selling. I'm not going to stop selling. That's where I make my money. If I get some overrides, that's just bonus money. Now, the same thing on team building. When I build my team, I'm going to build my team. If someone else comes in and he starts recruiting people, that's just a bonus to me. But I'm going to build my team myself. So I go wide. Like my goal is to go as wide as possible. I got about 22 directs right now and like 30 people on my team. So like I've built my team pretty much myself. Some of my guys are recruiting right now, which is amazing. That's just bonus. But don't slow down if like some of your guys are recruiting. I see a couple people like they're like, hey, like I have a guy coming in and he has 5 guys. He has 6 guys. Like I'm so hyped. Nice, bro. So why don't you go recruit 6 more people as well? Don't let someone build your team. Build it yourself, right? So if you want to make the most money, you need to go wide. Wide, and if other people like recruit people, then that's just a bonus. But it's very simple. Like recruiting is very simple. It all comes down to like posting on social media and then really setting standards. So like our standard within our agency is 10K or die. If we don't sell 10K a week, like, do you even work? That's how we hold standards, because there's a lot of people within our team that are selling well over 10K. And if you have a standard set, you're going to do every single thing to get that, to make sure that you hit that on a weekly basis. But I see way too many people fail building a business and like building the team. It's just because they don't hold themselves to that standard. I hold myself to a very, very high standard. So my guys also hold themselves to a very, very high standard. So like if I'm gonna do 10K a week and like I live by that, like if I have to dial Sunday, I gotta dial Sunday. My guys are gonna do that too. So the last thing that I really want to touch on is doubling down on what's working. So about like 1 or 2 weeks ago, I kind of sat down and I was like, all right, so how did I go from like 0 to like up to 362,000 like within my team like pretty quickly? And I sat back and I analyzed what was working. and it was all from social media. Every single person I've recruited is from social media. So I would be an idiot if I didn't double down on social media. So instead of like chilling, like taking some vacations, you know, just like I'm like, I got so much money, like I can just chill. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to double down and scale this thing as fast as possible. So if all my recruits came from social media, what would happen if I just doubled down on it? So now I post twice a day. Instead of once a day, I post twice a day. I light up my story 8, 10 times on a daily basis. And I understand if I double down on that, I'm gonna start recruiting way more people. Like my last like 6 recruits, I don't even know them. Like they're people that just genuinely just hit me up organically, not even from running ads either. So if you double down on what's working, you're gonna get to the next level a lot quicker. Like it doesn't make sense to me when people are like, yeah, like I just hit like my first like $20,000 month. Like I'm gonna go on this trip and like I'm gonna go enjoy myself. That just never like sat well with me. I just never understood that because why would you want to wait like 3 to 5 years to hit your goals when you can just go all in and double down and hit them within a year or hit them within 6 months? So everyone that's like doing well, just sit down and evaluate what you're doing that's working. Because there's a lot of things that you're doing that are working. There might be some things that aren't working. For me, what was working was social media. So I doubled down on that. And then last week I had more people hit me up in the week before, and I woke up to a text like that someone wanted to join the team. But at the end of the day, like overall, recruiting is very, very simple. You need to post on social media consistently and not cry when no one hits you up after a month. This thing takes a while, but post every single day. You need to have the results yourself so people will follow you. Post other people's wins and then have clear standards and expectations when people come in. Don't tell them some BS story that's not going to line up when they first start. Tell them real numbers and do what it takes. Like they're going to do exactly what you do. So represent well, lead from the front, work 12 to 14 hours a day. Your guys will do that. And then after a couple months, look at what just happened. You're going to explode and then double down on exactly what's working. That's what I've been able to do to scale my business quickly. I'm not slowing down. I'm going to continue doing that, but appreciate everyone hopping on here. If anyone has any like questions or anything, can drop some in the chat or unmute.
Tan, man, I got one for you real quick. So we talked about this earlier on the phone. Most people, when they're recruiting, they think that they're going to see results right away. What separates you from the rest is you understand that it's like a numbers game, right? So just touch on that real quick for all those new people that are starting to recruit.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, so it's most definitely a numbers game. Like, for example, like my very first month, I only recruited one person. And then my second month, I only recruited 2 people. So after my third month, I only had 3 people. And then my third month, I got 6. So how did that happen? Well, it's because I posted every single day over a long period of time. When you initially start putting things out there, you might get a couple people that reach out, but majority of the people that like are seeing your stuff don't think it's real. They think it's a scam. They think it's a pyramid. Oh, we all get the same exact thing on a day-to-day basis. But then after 3 months of me posting every single day, them seeing me win, 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 more. I'm top of the leaderboard. Now I'm getting better and better. They start understanding that like it's actually real, and that's why it's a numbers game, and it's a consistency thing. And if you continuously post every day and find the right people, like things will explode, but it does take time. So you have to be patient. How do I share that if it's not a good fit? Um, I just tell them if they're not a good fit, I tell them that, uh, yeah, hey, what's up, bro? Honestly, like based on your situation, like you're not really, it doesn't really seem like you would be a good fit for us. Um, we're pretty strict with who we're taking on. I'm very blunt and honest with them. Like I had a guy who hit me up like a couple months ago. He was trying to work like 6 hours a day. He was in college and he was just kind of weird. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be honest, bro. Like you're just not really gonna be a good fit right now. But like keep following my stuff. If like you want to work full time later down the line, like just let me know. I'm just like brutally honest with them. For leads, my new guys, they get free leads for 2 months. And I recommend they start buying leads around like week 4 to 6. Yeah. But I appreciate you guys getting on here. My recommendation to everyone is like really go all in on the business and your life will change. Um, things do take time. There is a learning curve, but if you go at it day by day and you really think long term, like your life will change. It's really important to stay like super level headed because you are going to have a lot of hard days. You are going to have a lot of good days. At the end of the day, like I measure activity. I know for a fact if I work the hours and actually work the hours, I'm going to see the results that I want. So go at it like a day by day basis, stay super level headed and go all in. Your life will change. Appreciate you guys hopping on.